So we move further to the last part of the chapter 6. We talk about packaging. In dairy industry, it's very important is the aseptic packaging. Aseptic packaging is carried out after UHT, after ultra high treatment, ultra high temperature treatment. Then they do aseptic packaging. Aseptic means that the absence of any microorganism come from the product, from the environment, or from the equipment. No microorganism. So aseptic packaging consists of sterilization of the container. We need to sterilize the packaging material first. We need to sterilize the container first. And then after that we do the filling, but the product has been sterilized already. Commercially sterilized products. Okay, I don't know if I explain this works because theoretically you cannot say you have a sterilized product or sterile product, but you can use the word commercially, meaning it's already safe for the public. So and then the product has been already sterilized and we do filling in aseptic environment. And then after that, we do the sealing of the container also in a aseptic environment. And then we have the product. So some illustration, for example, if we start with non-sterile bottles, mean we buy bottle from outside and these are not sterilized yet. So before we do packaging, we have to sterilize the bottles. So here we have the bottle and we use the hydrogen peroxide H2O2. This is a very strong oxidant just to sterilize the bottles. And then we use the hot air which has been filtered already to make sterile as well to dry the bottle. And then we can use sterile water to rinse the deposit of chemicals to remove it. And then we do filling. Remember, volumetric filling. Volumetric filling means that we have to fill at a accurate volume every time. And then the cap, we do capping, but before we introduce the caps to close the bottle, we have to sterilize the caps. And to sterilize the packaging material, the cap, we also use this chemical. And then everything, all the condition here now should be actually conditioned inside the packaging chamber is accepted. And here you see a light, a flow of something, and they don't say what is this thing, but actually this is air. And the air need to be filtered already to remove any microorganism, any dust and so on. And then they pump the air into this chamber. Why they pump in the air like that? To make the pressure inside become positive. The pressure inside is higher than the pressure outside, higher than atmospheric pressure. So you have a flow of air like this all the time. So this is to prevent any dust, any contamination can be sucked in the system. It cannot come in, just all blown out. Okay, so you need higher pressure inside compared to outside. If we start from sterile bottles, the bottle which have been sterilized already, and then what do we need? Normally after sterilization, they seal the bottle like this. So we now have to what? Have to sterilize using this chemical, sterilize outside, and then we just cut the seal because inside it has been sterilized already. So now you can just do filling, capping, and then and so on. Here you see we need air to make high pressure inside. This air should be sterile. And those are the two processes showing that we start from already formed bottles. But this is even applied more nowadays, that they start from flat unformed packaging material. So when you bring into your factory, you have like a row of packaging material, and then in the packaging system, you have to form the shape. For example, the first one you have to seal vertically. You seal this, and you seal this, and then you fill your product USD milk, and then you seal this one and do some folding and so on, and then we have USD milk in paper box, and this is very popular in Vietnam. The boxes can be in different shapes like this, and here you look down here, this is a roll of packaging material. Now is now bring into a tank of H2O2 to sterilize it, and there's the squeezing here, the squeezing instrument to remove any excess liquid H2O2 down, and you spread it to make it dry, and then you seal it vertically, you fill it, and you seal it horizontally. Here you steam it, and then you have the product. Of course, everything should be in aseptic condition. And the packaging material here has many layers, can be 6, can be 7 layers, not a single one. The one inside, it should be the material which can be in direct contact with food, which not be corroded by food. For example, even if food have high acidity, this layer should be intact, and this layer can be sealable, means when you heat it get melted, so when you close it like this, compressors is can seal together. You have another layer to make the strand can be like the cotton paper, and then you should have a layer of aluminum. The aluminum layer kim loại bằng nhôm then it help us to fold the corner, to fold it, to shape it easily. And this layer can be also a good barrier of oxygen, barrier of vapor. Oxygen or vapor cannot enter, cannot go out. It's because the metal layer is have a good barrier property. And then we have some other layer, maybe a paper layer to do printing. You print the label on it, and then there's another plastic something layer outside to do the polishing, to make interesting surface and to protect the ink inside as well. Okay, so there are a number of layers. If you want to check, you can just buy a bottle of milk, drink it, and use a knife or scissor, cut it and count how many layers. You can read somewhere else what are the function of each layer. Good. So we are done with chapter 6, and these are the important references. This is the course notes from a master program at Ghent University in Belgium. This is my professor when I did master and PhD there. This is also important book from a scientist in the Netherlands, Wansta Peter. This is the book free online, and then there are other material that you can read as well. Do you have questions for this part?